Hello there, good morning. Travellers entering the UK from red list countries will face mandatory quarantine on arrival. The measure comes into effect from the 15th of February, and that's more than 2 weeks after the move was first announced by the Prime Minister. Under the policy, people returning from more than 30 high-risk nations will have to quarantine for 10 days in government-approved accommodation. This report from Sky's Ali Fortescue.
Sally, this is a sample room I'm going to take you into now.
From the 15th of February, Meher has been told rooms like this will be home to red list arrivals.
There's a microwave and fridge as well, so if they want their own drinks and things...
COVID-positive cases are already isolating in rooms here. It's a blueprint for how quarantine hotels might work.
There's about 2,000 people arriving per day at Heathrow, Gatwick and Manchester from the quarantine countries. So for 10 days, that's 20,000 rooms. So that's potentially 200 hotels with 100 rooms in each.
Talk of quarantine hotels started here 2 weeks ago. But since then, they've been waiting.
We just desperately want to help. And I think that's a sense of frustration is we've sent all that information and just not heard anything back.
There are currently 33 countries on the government's red list, including Portugal, South Africa and Brazil. Currently, British and Irish nationals and those with residence rights who've travelled to or through those countries are able to enter the UK, but must have a negative COVID test and self-isolate for 10 days. Under the new proposals, that would be in government-provided accommodation. Anyone else attempting to enter the country who's passed through the red list will be refused entry.
So is this where people come in if they...
And as vaccine hope grows, so too is impatience.
In the first wave, 0.1% of cases came from China, where we had restrictions. 62% came from France and from Spain, where we didn't have restrictions. And there's every reason to think that the variant will behave in the same way.
Quarantining arrivals is an enormous challenge. Hotels need to train staff, make sure passengers stay in their room, and are asking who will be responsible for enforcing the rules. The government's saying working out the logistics takes time.
There isn't a delay. What there is work to make sure that the border is always as secure as it needs to be.
It's been almost a year since this hotel was full, but that may well change very soon. And while the guests here will remain out of sight, the hope is these quiet corridors will shut out a threat from abroad. Ali Fortescue, Sky News.